Interstellar Research Group has chosen 3 students as the recipients of our 2020 scholarships. These scholarships were created to encourage the next generation to study science, technology, engineering, and math, STEM fields that support the research needed to get humanity to the stars. Today I have the pleasure of interviewing Evelyn Johnson. Evelyn Johnson is one of our 2 undergraduate winners. She is an undergraduate at Mercer University in Macon, Georgia. She took classes from West Georgia Technical College in their dual enrollment program and plans a double major in history and biology with a minor in chemistry. She plans to attend Mercer Medical School for her MD to serve the rural areas in her community, and also to dedicate her studies to the betterment of public health in this country. Her winning paper is entitled Essay on the Benefits of Space Development. Welcome, Evelyn.
Thank you.
If you would, describe the focus of your winning essay.
Well, I think a major theme in my paper was just the idea of what science can do and what development in this space sciences can do. And that's why I opened it with just the question of if. If becomes a really central theme in the paper. And I sort of explore all of the different kinds of ifs that are currently up in the air. And they attribute to every area of science that you could think of. Medicine, we're constantly developing new techniques up in the International Space Station. We've got agriculture, electronics, you've got engineering. Every science is based around this question of if, and that's really what I focused on.
Okay. What part do you feel that inspiration plays in scientific progress? And I'm thinking here of science fiction books and movies as being inspirational, but it might be inspiration from other things as well. Say a 3rd grader with an unusual gift for explanation.
So for me, the STEM field, where it all started was the book Ender's Game. I read about incredibly smart children saving the human race, and just on the basis of their intelligence, and just that foundation of the sciences and what they can accomplish. It's just incredible. So I think just continue to ask questions. It's how the human race moves forward. It's how we make progress. It's based off of innovation.
Okay.
And I mean, what's better than that?
Yes. What part can space exploration play in providing people with good paying jobs?
I think I've spoken a little bit on this in my essay, but right now the research that's being done has ties to every industry, and that is so key in providing employment. And even that, the people on the ground, you have to think about the workers building the tools that are enabling the scientists and everyone else involved. You have to think about the businessmen laying the plans and foundations. And then you have to think about the taxpayers. You have to think about just any area of interest has a tie into science in some way or form, whether it's funding, whether it's the foundational blocks of it, or whether it's the actual work that's being done.
Okay. What do you feel are the benefits of the commercialization of space, say by companies such as SpaceX or OneWeb?
I am so incredibly excited for the SpaceX program. That has literally been a dream of mine since I was a small child. I have very distinct memories of my father and I talking about what the possibilities could be if space travel was commercialized, because you have so much room for innovation. You don't have as much red tape or bureaucracy. I feel like, especially as a nation, we've shifted away from space travel as a viable option, and to enable the science field to have a different route is going to be incredible. I'm so excited for the work that SpaceX is doing, and I know that it's going to do great things.
Okay. What is it that set you on your path? Was there one event or person or something specific that gave you that first spark of passion in your field of study, or was it a slow progressive growth?
So I've been kind of on a career journey my whole life. From the very beginning, like I said, my father and I are huge sci-fi fans. He handed me the book Ender's Game, and from there I just my love of science grew. I mean, it's continued to grow. And I have recently shifted away from the medical field, but I'm in it still, in the way that I'm now moving towards forensic sciences. And I want to serve my community in that way. So I think it's been a slow journey and sort of a coming into it. But I've always stayed very close to the STEM field, just because I have a love for research, I have a love of innovation. And I think there's no better way to have a direct line into human innovation.
Okay. What part do you feel that passion plays in scientific progress? And I'm thinking of the passion that burns in the heart of many, if not all, scientists.
So the role of passion. I mean, I would think back to just the basis of all philosophy is the need for information, and we just have this inner drive and inner need. And I think that sort of parallels with the passion, and it sort of drives the passion. We will always hunger for knowledge, and we'll always hunger for that next step, and that really drives our passions forward. And I think that's a big reason why we feel passionate, is because we do have this hunger for knowledge.
Okay. Can you describe the passion that burns in your heart? That is, what is it you most want to do with your career? Or are you maybe still a little too young to know for certain what direction you might go?
Like I said before, I am sort of coming into what I'm realizing is my passion. It's definitely been a journey over the past 2 years of just sort of discovering what I love to do and what I love to research. And just to give an example, I was given an opportunity last semester to work in a forensics lab, and I played a key role in improving someone else's lives. And to know that science can have an impact across fields and can do more than win awards and create this crazy out of touch of reality thing. The fact that it can create foundational, relatable, positive impacts to the common person is what's really kept me tied to it.
And lastly, was there a person in your life who took you aside and gave you an extra bit of mentoring or tutoring or guidance, and maybe they're not even aware of how much it meant to you, but you'd like to take a moment to thank them?
Definitely my father, for putting Ender's Game into my hands. He made me into the geek I am today. I still treasure our conversations. He's the one I can always pick up the phone and go, "Did you hear what SpaceX is doing today?" Or "Did you see what they're doing with the," and I really just love that. On more of an academic note, one of my biggest mentors was a high school teacher, Clinton DeMooney, who really, he lighted my passion for research. And it was historical research, but that also opened the door into scientific research, because I found I could apply what I'm really good at, which is seeking answers to the ultimate question of, if I do this or if we do this. I was able to marry the two fields together in a way that I didn't think I could career-wise. I had previously, up to that point, thought I'm going to have to make a choice between my love of history and my love of the sciences, when in reality, I found that I could actually marry the two, and I am ever so thankful for that.
Is there anything that I didn't ask about that you'd like to talk about? Maybe some new project you're working on?
I have shifted away from medicine. It's still very near and dear to my heart, but career-wise, I'm definitely moving towards like criminal investigations and forensics. I've done some work in the forensics lab. I also found my love for work with criminal investigations with an internship at the National Infantry Museum over the summer.
Okay. Is there anything more you'd like to add about it?
It's just the fact that for anyone out there who is sort of struggling to marry those two fields together, don't lose hope because there's always an answer. And you're never going to fit into one box is kind of what the conclusion I've come into.
Okay. Well, let me ask you a couple of questions about that. And that first one is the value of an internship. That's how you discovered, you say.
Yeah.
I would think that when you're just starting off in your career, maybe you're still in college and such, taking one or two, or maybe even a couple of internships, even if they're brief, would be a good way to explore new areas that maybe you would never try professionally, of your own. What has that been your experience?
Yes. So just this, like, working this semester and being able to work in forensics work, which I hadn't been able to do before, and I hadn't even considered it. I was actually moving away from STEM because I just wasn't finding that fire. Setting yourself up to do something, even though it's not 10 out of 10, it checks every box. You never know. And I did the internship with the Infantry Museum for the direct purposes of, well, let's see if I really can, find interest in other fields. But that experience, coupled with what I have done in the fall semester and this semester working with the in forensics, has shown me a new opportunity, which is the fact that I can marry the two fields together and still have a successful and fulfilling career.
Okay. Well, thank you, Evelyn, for taking the time for the interview.
Absolutely. Thank you.
That was Evelyn Johnson. This has been From Here to the Stars, a video series created by the Interstellar Research Group. The IRG is a nonprofit organization dedicated to thoroughly exploring the science and engineering that can eventually open up the reality of interstellar travel. Find us online at irg.space. I have been your host, Stephen Ewan Cobb. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, and you can subscribe to our channel for other such videos. On behalf of all of us here at the Interstellar Research Group, I thank you.